Hey, what's up everybody? John from Old Reading Farm here. Thanks for joining us on this very cold day. It's February and it is cold. My hands are freezing, but that's all right. In today's video, we are gonna do a quick review of the Harbor Freight or Haul Master 3-point quick hitch. Now, I have been wanting to get one of these for the longest time because I don't know if it happens with you guys and your tractor, but oftentimes when I switch from something simple like a ballast box over to my landscape rake, or I also have an auger, I also have a stump grinder and a wood chipper. Boy, it sounds like I got a lot of stuff, right? But honestly, my ballast box is probably one of my tops. The reason for that is because it's very helpful. It's got a lot of weight in there. I think it's got 500 or so pounds in there in concrete right now. So when I'm going and I'm picking up stacks of logs, loading them in my trailer and then bringing them down here, it provides enough ballast for me, which is, counterweight, so that I can easily pick up the logs and not, tip over. But it's also small enough that it makes navigating out in these woods much easier. The problem is taking this thing on and off my 3-point hitch is a pain in the neck, especially because where I am, as you can see, well, right now it's all ice. Have I mentioned that it's really cold? Where I am here, there's a lot of unlevel ground. And that's because I'm out in the woods right now. You can see there's actually some of my neighbors over there in their gigantic houses. So I'm here in the woods, again, unlevel ground. So when you're trying to get this to, adjust and link on those pins just right, it's a pain in the neck. And so it makes it so that I sort of almost plan my projects around which attachment I have on the back of my tractor. So with this, again, the Harbor Freight 3-point quick hitch, I am hoping that this makes it easier. Now, the Harbor Freight quick hitch, and so this is on my Kubota L4701 tractor. So I think this has a maximum horsepower, or they say, for 45 horsepower or less tractors. My horsepower on this is, I think, 46 point whatever, so close enough on here. And so this retails now, and so this is 2025 that I bought this in. This retails for 130 bucks. The next cheapest one I could find was on Amazon from some fake Chinese company. I'm sure this probably comes from China too, but it's at least, I find it beneficial when I can, if there's something wrong with this, I can bring it back to a store and speak face to face with a human being rather than, dealing with Amazon or crazy private sellers. Who knows? The next reputable company that I would have gotten it from is Titan Attachments, which is, I actually get a lot of attachments from them. This ballast box and my landscape rake, as well as my pallet forks, are all from Titan, so I don't have a problem with them. Their quick hitch retails for 200 bucks, and I think there was shipping in there too. That may have been free shipping, I don't remember. But so it was, $70. And the way that I'm sort of looking at this is that this is really a hunk of metal. I mean, sure, there's some springs and, other stuff in here, but when it comes down to it, it's a piece of metal. I just need the piece of metal to do its job. So we'll see how it goes. I did make one change to this. Previously on here, which is the adjustable hook, there were bolts and nuts and lock washers and regular washers. So in order to adjust where this hook sits, you would have to undo 2 bolts, move it up, redo the bolts. I have found that it basically defeats the purpose of this, because the way that it works is not all of these 3-point attachments on your tractor attachments are going to be universal. So there's a different height, but like on this top pin and another one. So I just took some hitch pins and I put them in here. And again, so the worst case scenario here is that one of these gets bent and then it's tough to take out. But I really put value in being able to quickly switch implements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this hooks up to my ballast box. I'm going to show you how it unhooks from my ballast box. And then I'm going to go and put on the landscape rake and show you how I make the adjustments here. And then we'll talk a little bit about my experience, and let's get started.
I can get it on the first shot. Gonna see if I can get it on the first shot. Here we go.
All right, so how about that, huh? First try, didn't even have to leave the tractor seat. Love that. All right, so that was great. I was able to pick it up without having to get out of my tractor seat. And so you'll see the only thing that really, so the bottom pins sit in these bottom hooks, and then there's this little spring-loaded mechanism to put these guys out so that when you're driving around, it doesn't fall out. Anyway, so you will see that these hitch pins are a little bit loose up here. Well, actually just that one. It's really sitting mostly in that guy. But this is great. And so I have had no problems with this whatsoever. The other great thing, and the thing that I like about the ballast box, is that it has that little trailer hitch there. So I not only carry around my little baby trailer right there, but I had also taken all three of my other trailers and placed them over here. So I know my dump trailer, which is right here, weighs 2,000 pounds when it's empty. And my horse trailer, I think, is like 1,500 pounds, maybe a little less than that. Landscape trailer is super light. I think that's like 200 pounds. But what I can say for sure is that I have moved all of these with my ballast box on my quick hitch on my tractor. So I know that there's no like immediate structural issues with picking up a ton of weight. And now I know you're probably going to say that there is a 1,000 pound load limit on it. Obviously, when you're picking up just the hitch from a trailer, you're not lifting up the actual weight. But I was just trying to illustrate that, yes, this quick hitch has no like structural issues or anything like that. So I would have to say, in terms of durability, it does very well. I mean, I try to take care of my things, but a tool is a tool is a tool. I need to do what I need to do with it. Like, I just got this log grapple up here, and I mean, it's already, there's some scratches and dings and dents on it and stuff, but I mean, I'm picking up logs. What am I gonna do? So I would say that in terms of durability, so far 10 out of 10. Price, obviously 10 out of 10. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this bad boy down, and we're gonna go put our landscape rake on and see how well my hitch pins do at being able to move and adapt up and down. Ready? Let's go do that. So you can see where the bottom link pins are. So I'm approximately where the pin would sit. And then you can see with the hook right here, it's way lower than where the pin would sit. Pin's way up here, hook's way down there. So I think if I move it, I guess all the way up, we'll see how that goes. So now with the hitch pins, so I could see, so it should be in the top position, yes. I shouldn't have done this right here. This is definitely the harder way to do it. Well, there we go. All right, so I think that should be about good. I'll see if I can pick her up and get out of here. Oh yeah. All right, so you see, just like that, got it hooked up and on there. Now, the one thing that I did notice with different attachments, we'll need to do some adjustment there. So like, I'll just need to pull the top link back a little bit to just get this a little further from the ground, but all worked out well. So what do we think of the Harbor Freight Haul Master 3-point hitch, quick hitch? 2 thumbs up, baby. You know, a lot of people don't like Harbor Freight stuff, and admittedly, I was, well, the very first time I ever heard about Harbor Freight was when I was actually working at my last job, and I found their tools, and I was like, oh my God, they have all these tools, and they're so cheap. And they are. They're really inexpensive. And, you know, I think some people sort of look at that, and obviously there is an element of you get what you pay for, but I feel totally comfortable spending $130 on this versus $200 somewhere else. Because if this goes wrong, you know, I got a place, I got a store that I can go and return it. And then I was looking at even the Kubota one, starts at like $500. So, I mean, if I went top of the line for this little metal thing, I could get almost 4 of these for the same price of that. And again, because it's a little piece of metal, I feel much more comfortable, you know, getting it. Because if, you know, even if it bends a little bit, I'm sure I'll be able to either bend it back or make it work. It's simple, no big deal. But again, this has worked really well for me, and I'm sure it will for you too. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.